I've done a few on, sexual health and intimacy, relationships. People always ask the same questions. And it's like, how do I keep the spark alive? How do I talk to my partner about sex? We have different sex drives. How do I navigate this? Like those kind of things. So how do you coach couples through that?
Yeah. I always say there's always going to be prerequisites. You can't advise a couple, like let's say if a couple has been sexually disconnected for over a year, you can't just be like, oh, buy lingerie, try this position, throw in a vibrator. Like none of these things will work because we're missing the prerequisites, and that's the desire to try. Are you even in a relationship where two people have the desire to try? I mean, I got a divorce before. Yeah. I know we weren't anymore at a place of trying because we have been trying. So are you even in a relationship where there's desires to try from both people? And that's a prerequisite.
It's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And whenever I hear the answer of like, have you tried toys? Have you tried traveling? I'm like, doesn't matter. Yes. Do you have the desire to change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so overlooked. I mean, I'm just laughing because of my own
because you're like,
experience.
Girl, it's true.
Yeah. Well, and I think like people recommend that, and there's like a physical, like if that is gone, if the passion's gone, if that desire to try is gone, and someone's telling you to like introduce toys and go take a trip, you're like, hell, fuck, no.
No, exactly.
Like you don't,
So exactly. No amount of lingerie will fix the lack of desire to try.
Yeah.
Because you're out, you're checked out.
Yeah.
Have you heard of quiet divorce?
No.
Or like quiet leaving?
No. What's that?
It's a psychological idea of how people will actually quit the relationship about 6 months prior to breaking up with someone.
Interesting.
Quiet quitting.
Interesting.
So if you do...
I'm doing the math in my head.
Yeah. I know for sure that theory holds true for me because, I was thinking about it. I wasn't ready to enact it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. So many people have been asking me, like, how do you know when it's time to leave? And I can relate to that for sure. I think when you keep thinking about it, because I was thinking about it. I mean, we separated 2 years ago. So we were both thinking about it, obviously, but then we got back together and I'm sure we were both thinking about it again. But yeah, that happens long before the actual divorce happens.
It's the quiet quitting period.
Yeah. And it's awful.
It's awful. And it feels like you're walking on eggshells.
Yes. And the inner turmoil that you experience. And that's another thing we were talking about before, like that being in limbo, like where mentally you're out, but physically you're there. I found for myself, like the bigger that gap was, the more turmoil I had inside. So,
and that's natural.
Yeah.
The more you go through this experience, the more the buildup is. It's like pouring water in a cup and you just pour it daily. And at one point you're just overflow and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just,
quiet quitting.
Yeah, quiet quitting. And so, whenever I get that kind of question, I always ask, let's reflect first. Do we have the desire to try? Because when we do, then we can talk about the other steps. When it comes to communication and for couples that have never ever talked about sex, I want to first teach people of the different communication concepts within the realm of sexuality. If you're in a relationship, you should be doing two things: micro sexual communication and macro sexual communication. Microsexual communication is the communication that occurs during sex. And that is giving instructions, giving affirmations, giving compliments, communicating likes and dislikes. And these are the things that need to be happening in order for you to have a great sex life in the long run. If you're thinking about it right now while you're listening, like, oh no, I have never done it before, it's not too late to start trying. But at the same time, also know, realistically speaking, you will never have a great sex life in like 20, 30 years unless you're communicating during sex. And one concept that's kind of fun that people always ask me to share more about is the concept of dirty talk. Because there's a whole realm of research on dirty talk. And people always wonder, like, how do you implement that in during sex? Like, do I just say it?
Mhm.
And I always say, well, ask your partner first. Like, hey, have you heard of dirty talk? What do you think about it? Or maybe send them this podcast,
Mhm.
right? Send them a clip. And so it starts a conversation about dirty talk. And maybe that is a way to spice up your sex life, is trying new things that are free. Like, you don't need to buy anything to try dirty talk. And there are different categories of dirty talk. There's compliments, right? You can say, your pussy smells so good. You can say, your cock tastes so good when you give a blowjob. Like, that's always an enhancement, and kind of a surprise for your partner if you've never done it before. But I'm sure it's a good surprise.
Yeah.
You can ask questions, and this is a good way to initiate dirty talk from the other person. You can narrate what's going on. You can give the other person like a demand or being like dominating, but you can also submit and be like a submissive person in the moment, like saying submissive things that are politically incorrect but works in sex. Like, I'm your dirty slut. Like, there's nowhere else you can say this. Don't say it at DMV. Only sex you can say these things, and that's why dirty talk is so special, because it really shows the closeness within that relationship.
Yeah.
So that's micro sexual communication that can spice up your sex life.
I have a question though. Why is it so effective? Because it is so effective, but like mentally and physiologically, like, why does that enhance it so much?
Yeah. So sex, because like you said before, in this purity culture, sex is taboo, right? So when we're doing something taboo with another person, we're creating a shared experience. And when you engage in things that are perceived as dirty, taboo, politically incorrect together, it enhances the experience and making this co-created experience even more of a bonding activity.
Got it.
When someone feels close enough to be themselves or to share something like dirty talk that's very taboo, it communicates to the other person that we're in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
That I'm able to express myself authentically. It's because we're in a healthy relationship. And I think that in itself is an affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, like, we're good. We're doing this. Like, we're good. Yeah. And that is micro sexual communication.
Okay.
Couples need to 100% also do macro sexual communication, or what I call like sexy check-ins. If you've never done it before, today is the day to start. And it can be as simple as asking, and I do this with my husband. I actually recently did it on stage with my husband in order to show people what it's like in real life. But it's asking your partner monthly, like a monthly check-in. What did you think about our sex life last month? And how would you rate it from 1 to 10? And recently we did this last weekend, and, I told my husband, I think it was an 8 out of 10 because I feel like you were quite busy and we didn't have those like long sexual sessions. Although we did have a lot of exploration because we were going to like sex parties and, having fun exploring.
I want to talk about that after.
Sure.
Bookmark that. Okay.
Yeah. So we were doing that. So I had the exploration part, like that part is doing good. But the part where it's you and me and like maybe a undistracted amount of time having sex and exploring together, like we didn't have enough of that. So I was rating it at 8. And I said all of this on stage and with him on it. So I wanted to show people like, I'm not a 10 out of 10 all the time, even though I'm a sexuality expert. And I'm
what did
able
he
to
rate
have,
it?
He said 9 because his exploration was really exciting. And he felt like he was able to connect with me on a different level that's outside of the norm.
Got it.
Both of us have rated it like 6 before. There was a time where it was very difficult physically because I was sick or if he was sick, and we just kind of talked through it. So when you ask that question, the probing question or the second question would be, what is the one thing you can do, I can do, and we can do in order to improve that score by 1 point? I'm a small goal kind of girl and like slowly, gradually achieving. So I always ask people to try asking like, what is the one thing we can do together that will improve that by 1 point? We're not trying to go 10 out of 10. We're just trying to go from 6 to 7.
Right. That makes it so much more manageable.
So
like,
much
less
more
daunting.
manageable.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a porn star sex life. Like no one is expecting that. But how can we both feel a little bit more sexually satisfied next month?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last question I ask is, what is one positive sexual memory you have of us last month?
Mm.
And it allows for two people to reflect and relive a positive sexual moment together, and therefore reinforcing positive sexual experiences for the next month. So that's the macro sexual communication that all couples need to be doing.